What's going on, guys? The Glitcher here, back again with some more live video stuff. Doing some new podcasting with my friends. I just want to let you all know that this video is sponsored by W. If you've had G Fuel before, then this stuff is the same thing. Which is pretty good. But anyways, so what's going on, guys? We're doing a live stream on Twitch, and then the replay will be on put up an hour later on YouTube. So right now we just got some gameplay going on. We got a lot of topics to talk about tonight. My son was going to be joining, but it looks like I am going solo tonight. Well, not solo tonight. I got a new friend with me. His name's Galaxy Eater. So let me get him in the room so he can have some fun with us too. Galaxy Eater, how are you doing, my friend? Hello?
Oh, my bad. My mic was muted on my headset. No.
No, so how you doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Nah, we'll get used to this. We'll get used to the cues and everything. I know it's a brand new thing for. Have you ever done podcasting before? No.
I have not. This is the first time we've been on a podcast. So,
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Well, it takes a minute to get used to all the cues and everything and stuff like that. So, yeah, we just got some interesting topics to talk about. If anybody's known me from before, you know, I run a pretty tight podcast, have a good time, lots of fun and everything. And like I said, this will be replayed on YouTube after on the Glitcher Boys channel. And this will also be put up on Galaxy Eater's YouTube or Twitch, right?
YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna put up on my YouTube.
Okay, so you'll be able to check it out there. Just so you know, if you are interested in, I couldn't find a place to put the link on Twitch, so I'll put the link on one that goes up for the replay for YouTube. But we are sponsored by W, as you can see in the corners, W Energy. It's just like G Fuel, and it's super awesome. And if you put my code in, or Galaxy Eater's code in, you get a 10% out. So mine is the Glitcher Boys, and then his is going to be Jerome Boom. So that's all you got to do is just type either of those in when you go check it out. And then, of course, like I said, that's going to be on the YouTube stuff. So without further ado, how about we let Galaxy Eater tell us a little about yourself so people can get to know you.
Well, but of course, I am Galaxy Eater. I am 35. I've been gaming since I was yay high, really little tight. The first gaming system I've ever played on is the Sega. I actually had a little Sega Genesis, and I played Sonic. Was actually my first game I played ever. So
Hell yeah.
that was pretty cool. So I found myself being more of a RPG first-person shooter kind of person. I hate to say it, but sometimes I follow the crowd. You know, I played Call of Duty for a little bit.
We
I
all
love
did.
Battlefield better. I love the details in Battlefield,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, I've been gaming ever since. I'm a Xbox person. I especially during the console wars, like way back in the day when that was a real thing.
Oh yeah.
I was 100% on the 360 side. The 360 was awesome. We had Halo, we had Gears, we had it going on.
Oh yeah.
So
Dude.
I don't care what no one says.
Oh yeah, no, dude. I was big fan of Xbox as well. I actually, for a while, when I was on YouTube, doing the YouTube stuff, I was Xbox eccentric channel. You know, I'm still a big fan of Xbox. Hopefully, this new go around with this Asha, the new CEO, she kind of brings Xbox back to life, because lately Xbox and PlayStation, for this matter, are looking like trash. So, but we'll get into all of that here in a moment. So, but I'm going to dive right into the first topic. By the way, the gameplay you're seeing right now, that is what is it? John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. So if you all are interested, that is some gameplay of it. That's another thing we're going to be doing different. We're going to be having gameplay videos of us playing and stuff of newer games or whatever we get a hands on, or an older game somebody didn't have a chance to. But we'll be running it on here and everything like that. So But I will be moving along right into this first topic. I am a huge fan of horror. Big fan of Resident Evil. Well, a couple days ago, they just shadow dropped the new DLC for Resident Evil Requiem called Leon Must Die Forever. I don't know if you're a Resident Evil fan. Have you played Requiem yet?
I have not, but I do enjoy the franchise. Uh, I'm not super familiar with it as Resident Evil as a whole, but I've definitely played five. That's actually when I finished. I played the remakes. I didn't beat them because I
Okay.
had them rented, unfortunately. But no, I played Resident Evil.
Okay, well there was a mode in Resident Evil 7 called Ethan Must Die. So pretty much all you're doing is you're just running around through the whole house doing different things, getting stronger weapons to kind of last as long as you can. And essentially that's what this is with Leon Kennedy. You're running around through different, but you go into different sections and just staying in one of the house. In the house you actually go to different areas like the Raccoon City, the city where the game starts, the hospital. Yeah, you actually go all over and you're timed and all that stuff. So which, if you have not played it yet, I definitely suggest you hop on that, because if you are a Resident Evil fan, you will definitely love that one. So, but still talking with the Resident Evil topic. I know I sent this out to you earlier. While I saw this and I kind of wanted to bring this up. June 5th. It seems like, so last year on June 5th, that's when they announced Resident Evil Requiem, and we all know that Resident Evil Code Veronica is the big talk about remake that everybody wants to have come out. Well, there's supposed to be something on June 5th, hoping that they announce Resident Evil Code Veronica. You haven't tried Veronica yet, have you?
No, but I know that it's definitely a big deal. I see it come up a lot in discussion. My friend tried to get me to play it, like way back in the day, but I was like, I was a kid. That was a no go.
Well, if you get a chance, I think you can get it on PC or PlayStation or wherever you're, because I know you use PC and you got a PlayStation, right?
Yes.
You can find them. I think you can find that one pretty cheap. I think it's an HD remaster. If you get a chance, yes, definitely check that out, because that is a real good game. And from what they're saying, they're rebuilding this whole thing up. So hopefully June 5th is an announcement we all get to seeing something with Resident Evil Code Veronica. Which, like I said, you need to get up on 9, dude. You will definitely love that one a lot. So,
I will definitely check that out. Because between that and the other game that you recommended to me, and we will talk about that in a moment, Crimson Desert, I have been loving that.
oh my God,
I've been
dude.
playing that, and oh my gosh.
Oh, see, and I didn't even think about. I was just putting some recordings together. I didn't even think about clipping any recordings for that. That game is so amazing. I got to get back into it, but Pragmata is a game that just kind of took that away, because that game is so amazing. If you haven't tried that one yet, Pragmata is a beautiful and amazing game. If you can get a chance to try that one too, there's a whole bunch
Actually, yeah, I just bought that. And that is on my radar. I want to get through Crimson Desert some more.
Mhm.
I definitely want to. Definitely good time sink. The game's very detailed.
Oh
It
my
has,
God.
it really has like a lot going on, mechanic wise. It kind of feels like a third person version of like Skyrim, but better. If that makes
Yes.
sense.
No. Yes. Definitely. And dude, like I've got like 20 plus hours into the damn game, and I don't even think I've ventured farther past than Hernand. Like, I mean, I went and found a weapon that somebody told me to look up. I ran again. It's this, I can't remember what the sword is, but it shoots out like golden orbs and stuff, and it like, I'll have to look it up and send you the link to where to get it, because once you get that, dude, you can start slaughtering people, and you just kill people, and then you ain't gotta and do all this.
Right.
But like, I keep seeing people with mechs and stuff and mechanical dragons, and I'm like, dude, I haven't even gotten that far yet. So yes, I definitely need to get back on that one. But so you've been playing video games for a while. Have you ever played a game called Star Fox?
Yes, I have.
Okay, well, the other day they just announced a remake for Star Fox, which I refuse to get a Nintendo Switch to because of how Nintendo's shitty practice is. Like, oh, if you modify it or anything, we'll brick the console, and it's like but that one, look it up. If you look up video of it and everything, that game looks killer. I mean, if you get a chance, look up Star Fox. Have you played that at all? The original Star Fox?
Yes, I have. I played the original. I played the 64 version. I played the 64 version a lot, especially when I found out there were multiple paths. That's something that really interests me in games. Having that, just like that extra layer of doing something different, doing something new almost every time you play in the game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And absolutely. And I saw the trailer for it, and so I'm definitely want to touch on Switch stuff, definitely. But let's start with Star Fox.
Yes.
So I saw the trailer. I saw the teaser too. The teaser is amazing, especially if you are a fan of Star Fox and the lore. You will definitely enjoy their little teaser if you haven't seen it yet. Definitely check that out.
Yes.
And I hate to even talk anything positive for Nintendo, but they really went all out for the game. With the exception of a couple details for me, in my opinion, I don't like the character models completely. I'm not married to them. Definitely the R-Wings. I don't know. They look kind of strange, but I think it's the style that goes in there. But I do like how they tried to make like hyper realistic as far as like the text concerned.
Yeah.
And then the extra added features really kind of threw me through a loop. First of all, they're going to let you play, split or not split screen, but like with somebody co-op in the same ship.
Yep. That is
really cool on paper. That's a terrible idea.
I gotta see how that works because you never know how some things sound terrible. Like you think it sounds terrible, but then it ends up actually becoming something cool. But
of course.
But that,
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I don't know if I can because, well, it's another one of the topics, but we might as well bring it up since we're talking about Switch. But they're talking about raising the Nintendo Switch 2 prices up to $50, like another $50. So the regular Switch now is going to be $500. So I don't see myself wanting to pay $500 for something that performs like a PS4, but they just announced the Star Fox remake. Apparently, I'll have to look it up, but they also said somebody leaked that they're making a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. And that's going to be one that I might have to. I don't know yet, but Star Fox, I
feel that.
I love Star Fox. And if did you see when they did the Super Nintendo Mini? They actually had Star Fox 2 on there. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, like
that was pretty neat.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of Star Fox, so I might have to muster up, maybe get a Switch too. But for $500, I don't know, man.
You know what? That's actually okay. So I have a lot of feelings, especially about the Switch 2, Nintendo, and especially like from the Pokemon side, because I'm a Pokemon fan. Let me add that in there. And for a long time, and maybe even for its entire lifetime in its DNA, it has been. Okay, no, that's not fair. It's not necessarily a slop fest, but it's definitely gone down in quality. There's definitely less of a, just like less of a gamer mentality to certain video games nowadays, and Switch to kind of. It's almost like Nintendo were just revealing their mask. It's like they're showing their hand, they're showing you who they are. It's cool that they're money first because they are a company, right?
Yeah.
I understand and respect that from a business perspective. But at that same token, right, you are a handheld system. You advertise yourself for children and families, basically. And you're going to sit here, look in my face, and tell me that you're worth $500 when you're using tech from over 5 years ago. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
I think not. I think absolutely not.
I 100% agree with you on that. Like the moment like the Switch 2 came out it was like everybody's like, oh, it performs like a PS4, and it's like I don't know if that's something I can justify $500. Like with the PlayStation
Mhm.
5 and the Xbox and everything, I could almost justify that because they're damn near got like a 480 they're running like a 480s graphics card in those machines for $500. But with the price increase on these things, I don't know, $500. I get it. Where RAM and all this stuff is going up, but man, consoles used to be the affordable one.
Right. And you know, we're looking at a time where you know things, especially like video games, are going to just be more expensive anyway. Which that's not even like a fair cop out. You know,
Yeah.
you have other ways where you can still enjoy video games, and unfortunately, I've heard this, you know, from the space. A lot of people are talking about starting, you know, to sell the high seas again, and I'm just like, whoa, because
Mm-hmm.
you know it's never really been an option for me because I'm not, you know, I feel kind of icky about it. However, you know, you're looking at people spending almost $1,000 on a system and they're getting way less. I can't. It's almost hard to even argue against that. How do you even argue against that when you're paying almost $1,000 as much as a decent PC and you're not even getting that kind of quality when it comes to equipment?
Exactly. Like,
I can't. You can't justify that.
no, it's like I got a 5070 and I paid a little bit more for, the PS5 Pro right now is damn near, if you buy it with a disc drive, it's damn near $1,000. For a few dollars more, I got a 5070, a Ryzen 9, and like dude, like I'm cooking with gas. I don't need, like, I've got a PS Pro. I bought it before it went up, and that was even still like $700, and it was like, yeah, it runs the stuff good, but I don't know. Since I'm on my PC more now. It's kind of like my Pro just kind of sits there and collects dust. And now that it's the 900 without the disk drive, that's a real big issue. And it's like,
Hmm.
and that's the thing. Uh, these things are only going up more. I can tell because I just saw something before about an hour ago before we were getting started. Um, Bank of America, and this is going to sound weird. Bank of America has stock in It Takes Two, I believe the company's called, that is has Rockstar. And Bank of America wants It Takes Two, I believe. I might be saying the wrong name, but Bank of America wants this company that oversees Rockstar to start charging the basic version of GTA 6 for $80. This, like, games are not going to be cheap anymore, and it's like what was a good hobby and a fun time is now going to be like, because you're going to let a bank determine now how much video games cost. I mean, that is just absolutely ridiculous. Like it, and I could see the writing on the wall with Nintendo saying, "Oh, $80 digital games, $90 physical, and
Hmm.
you don't even get the
Hmm.
damn game." But it's like
Right.
you have a bank that has nothing to do with video games automatically saying, "Yep, GTA 6 because we know it's going to sell. We know it's going to make money, so we want it to start at 80." I feel, and this is my opinion, and I'm sure you'll probably feel the same way about it, and I'm sure people that will listen to this later on will feel the same way, is like what Nintendo's doing, what this Bank of America is doing. They're determining prices that are like, hey, nostalgia sells. People want these games. And that's what's crazy is everything keeps going up, and as long as people keep paying for it, they're going to keep doing it. I feel there's a way we should stop them from doing it. Like, I wish we could all just band together and say, no, I'm not paying for that, no, I'm not buying this, and it puts a hurt on their stock.
You know what? That is probably the best way for something like that to happen. Is unfortunately not only to speak with our wallets, but to actually open our mouths and come together unified. And
it,
that's kind of a problem that we're even having today in just the video game space. You have newer gamers, and this is no offense to anyone younger than us, right?
mm-hmm.
You know, you weren't there during the plug and play era where you can just buy a full game on a cartridge, plug it into your Game Boy, and you have the entire game. No day one patches, no updates, no DLC. Sure, you don't get like extra content, right? But you have the full game. You have it. You bought it. You owned it. You can play it whenever you want. You can play it on the go. You can play it with you while you're going to school. You know, you have like your smartphones and whatnot, sure, but there's something beautiful about owning a piece of media that is absolutely yours.
Mm-hmm.
They can't take that from you.
Exactly. And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, as prime example, I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Nintendo, but look at Nintendo. They're $90 for a key. You don't even get to own that game. And I don't like the idea of these companies saying, oh, you don't get to own your games anymore. Well, if I'm paying my hard-earned money for this stuff, I better be able to keep it. I mean, that's, yeah.
Especially when you determine the price of it, and you're telling me I need to cough up $500, and then you're telling me I can't even open it and fix it if something goes wrong, or I can't change the shell if I want to. See, that's something I actually used to do for like my DSs. I actually had a couple DSs like way back in the day, and I had wore out the shoulder buttons, and I was going to send them back, but they're like, your warranty expired, just go ahead and buy another one. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You want to know how much a shell was, like a full kit of a shell on eBay was? It was $30.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay $30 than $200 again for another handheld device. Fix it myself, learn something new, and got a skill out of it.
Exactly. That's I love to do that. That's why I'm glad I learned the skill of building computers. Because you learn something, and like you said, if something goes wrong with your device, you can easily just take it apart and kind of figure it out, because it's, I don't want to say it's all essentially the same, but it's pretty much like, okay, you got the motherboard, you got this, you got that, and it's a great skill to have. So,
Absolutely.
And that's why it's like, I can't believe, PlayStation and everybody's running up these price tags. But which brings this back, because being that we are both Xbox fans, Xbox is making some good moves lately, because when they raised the price of Game Pass, Asha actually brought it down to about $21 now. But the best thing she did was she's removing Call of Duty from Game Pass, which that's fine. I would rather have a cheap thing, rather have it cheaper instead of paying up $30 to people may not sound like a lot. Oh, it's $30. Why can't you afford it? Woo woo. If you think about it, when everything's already so damn expensive, to try to pay for stuff, $30 can be a lot. And I like to pay for my stuff. So, but if you're like, that's for the general consumer, hey, I'm just going to play once in a while, but still $30 just for general consuming. I think the $21 price tag is fine. I'm happy with them removing Call of Duty. I mean, they're making some good moves. There's some more moves they're making, but the Game Pass already dropped in price. How do you feel about that?
I honestly, okay, so I feel mixed. Now, this is just me being generous to those who are Call of Duty fans. I'm sorry that if that was like your main way playing Call of Duty, especially if you're younger and you got your parents, buy you Game Pass. I am sorry you are losing Call of Duty. But righteously, Call of Duty was never like an Xbox exclusive, and I feel like the Game Pass should cater more to their exclusives or more to like their discovery than they should just for video games. And I know it sounds weird, even from what I just said earlier, but doing that is a great signal to me. Like with what you were saying before, and taking off, something like Call of Duty, especially if that was jacking up the price, that's absolutely a win. You'll have more quality games. You'll find new things that you like. You may even become a fan of a really small niche game that you never even heard of because it was on Game Pass. I think that's way better than just having Call of Duty on there. Absolutely. That's a huge win.
Yes, there's more than just Call of Duty. That's what I try to tell people, because you hear the people, I love Call of Duty. I'm glad. It's like, no, there's more to Call of Duty. But, and with some more moves that Xbox is making, the new Project Helix, I'm excited for. She's got a lot of work going on. She's trying to bring exclusives back to Xbox, which, yes. Well, I think it was like beginning of the year or some point last year, they announced Halo was going to Xbox. We had Gears of War on there. I'm sorry. To me, that was like, that stabbed me right in the chest because being an Xbox fan, I'm playing Xbox for Halo. I didn't buy PlayStation for Halo. I didn't buy PlayStation for Gears of War. I bought
Exactly.
my Xbox for those games, and it sounds like she's really doing her best to try and make exclusives matter again, which is great. From what I'm seeing is I gotta look it up, but there's a uh, popular YouTuber I used to work with a while ago. His name's Cold Eastwood. He's a big YouTuber. I think he put up something saying something that she's actually trying to get rid of all the AI slap out of the Xbox brand, which if
Hmm.
that's true, that's fantastic. And the idea for the consoles, there's going to be a couple price points, which at that point the multi SKU thing, I'm over that. If you're just going to put out a console, put something out like the mid-gen refresh, the PS5 Pro, the multi SKU stuff. Just put out one, and just call it a day, because you're getting a lower version, like the Xbox Ally. You got the white version and the black version. Who's gonna want
Hmm.
the white version? That one's trash. You got the $1,000 one. Yeah, it's $1,000, but yeah, dude, that's the better one. So, but Xbox, I feel, is making good moves. And you being an Xbox gamer, how do you what you think, man?
All right, so I am all for I'm all for Helix, honestly. As far as Xbox, they're actually coming back. Like you said, they're bringing back inclusive. They're making it matter because when I first heard that, you hit the nail on the head. My soul left my body. I'm like, excuse me, when did Halo become a PlayStation thing? Like, I don't. Okay, and this is actually how I feel, especially when I heard that Xbox was getting in bed with Steam. Okay, I feel like that's something the console should be doing anyway. And if you are a PC gamer, if you buy your stuff through Steam, obviously there should be a connection, with your system.
Yeah.
I've always felt like that. I felt like that since I started buying stuff on Steam, because I think the idea of buying something twice is insane. Now that being said, I've actually done that before because
Mm-hmm.
I bought the Master Chief Collection on Steam myself because I already had it on my Xbox. I bought it on my Xbox, and not even like almost a year later, I bought it on Steam because I wanted to play with my little sister, and she absolutely loves Halo now. So that's a W.
Hell yeah. No, well, Halo's a great game. I remember when I first got Xbox, at first, like when I first played Halo, it was okay. It was all right. I used to joke around with people. I called it names and stuff. And then I think it was like Halo 2 is where when I really started getting into it more and more. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I actually started looking at some of the lore of Halo. It's actually a very
Mhm.
dark story, which kind of threw me off.
Oh
So,
yes.
which
Oh,
the story behind Halo is amazing. And that's why when Halo 3 came out, I was like, oh my God, dude. And then I didn't look back. It was great the whole entire time. The story of Halo is just amazing.
I really do, especially when I look back at Halo. I just okay. So first of all, obviously some serious nostalgia because like that was like the second game I got from my Xbox, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
then playing it, huh?
No, nothing. I'm agreeing with you.
Mm-hmm. And then playing through it, it's just like this really fun power fantasy where you get to be a guy in a suit kicking aliens' butts for like majority of the game, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you get to the midway point where they get you to to the flood basically,
Yeah.
and
Them bastards.
that just I didn't realize that that game was just it was like that. So as a kid, it was terrifying. Like I actually had to stop playing. I actually stopped playing my game for like a week because I was like, "What is this?" So yes, fond memories. That scared the crap out of me. When Halo 2 came out, the hype was real. I remember that Christmas. That Christmas was if you didn't pre-order that game or you weren't able to get your hands on that game, you were just not getting it until
Yeah.
like after Christmas. That's how nuts it was. And then I was actually older for Halo 3. I think I was like 17, And I remember picking up a job specifically just so I can get the legendary edition version of Halo. And I still have the helmet. Right now it's in storage, but I still have the helmet to this day. That's a testament to how wild Halo is, right?
I mean,
I
dude,
still have it.
did you go to the midnight release for Halo 3?
Yes, I did.
Oh my
My very
god.
first midnight release. My very first midnight release was a Halo 3, and it was literally a party. People driving up and down because our GameStop was actually inside of a shopping center with Walmart, right? A little
Yeah.
strip mall. My bad. And people were literally. They had other people holding like their spots, and they were getting their cars, playing the Halo
Yep.
theme.
Yep.
Just going driving up and down, creating traffic in this parking lot. And of course, the rest of the world's like, what's wrong with these guys? And we are having the time of our life.
And
That's what it's.
they couldn't understand it. They would never understand it. And that's why Xbox needs to have exclusives and have their stuff, because that was only on Xbox at the time. And that was like, when you got that, you turned on that Xbox, you knew. So I hope this Asha, I don't know how to say her last name, and I'm not about to, because I don't want to butcher it. But if she's serious about making Xbox the best again, she needs to just keep that in mind. I'm sure she's listening to everybody. I'm sure she's like listening to the bigger YouTubers, and I hope she hears just the passion in our voice just talking about Halo alone. There's a lot more. That Xbox 360 era, it was just untouchable, dude. There was nothing. Even with PS3, I had the Xbox 360, I had the PS3. I barely touched my PS3, dude. I was Xbox all the way. Even when that Xbox One debacle happened with you have to do the online check all the time, and then they cleaned that up real quick, which I want to point out, because only few people are bringing it up. I'm sure there's a lot more people bringing it up, but remember when Xbox One was announced, and they had the DRM, the download rights management, where you had to check in all the time, and everybody ripped Xbox apart. Well, look at what PlayStation's doing right now. That's what's screwed up about the whole thing, is PlayStation's doing the same thing, but their version is you only have to do it once. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. And I ask you, do you feel PlayStation gets a little more of a pass than Xbox?
I really feel like PlayStation gets a pass only really because, and this might sound weird, I feel like PlayStation is like the safe option. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people feel like, oh my gosh, it's PlayStation. I had a PlayStation when I was growing up, and it was like, and I really feel like, and that's what's wrong with a lot of this. We get caught up in those feelings when we hear those things and make those decisions, because there's no rhyme or reason why these companies get away with what they do, and that includes Nintendo, that includes Microsoft, that includes Sony. We need to speak louder with our wallets, basically.
Yes.
We just need to just stop buying stuff. And I really hate doing that, because I even walked away from Pokemon at what should have been a great time to be an older Pokemon fan, when they did Legends Z or AZ or ZA or something like that.
Yeah.
And they brought back Megas. Now, I'm not sure if you're like knowing anything of the Pokemon Stratosphere, but when it comes to like the new gimmicks, that will always be like the best gimmick. Right? Everyone votes like, Mega Evolution to be like the best thing ever. And that was the generation it was introduced in. So when you're revisiting that, and you're only going to give people one city to visit and not much to do, I mean, that tells you right there that it's not just a slap in the face, but they're willing to give you way less for your dollars amount. It's like we're pretending that inflation doesn't exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're pretending that things can just be the same way all the time. No. Okay, we understand we have to pay a little more for things. That's fine and dandy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But just to be given a half a game that's broken, that needs patches, like you were saying, and this goes into the checking in online all the time. Your games have to be online to get updates to just play normally, correctly. I heard it's I think it was a couple years ago, someone tried to tell me it's for piracy issues. But that's also BS, because why can't you just send out a finished product before?
Yeah.
Come on. And piracy is not going to hurt your bottom line that much.
No, and believe it or not, and I see people buy more. I mean, you could see sales numbers with everything. And you see all the sales numbers, so obviously piracy is not hurting any of them. I mean, it does exist. It is out there. And of course, they have found ways to stop that when creating these games. So it's not hurting them. It's not bothering them. And that's why, and I do agree with you, PlayStation had such a big hit when it first came out with PlayStation and PlayStation 2. And I believe that's why people do think it is a safe route that, hey, you know, PlayStation's been around. They know what the fans like, and Xbox, yeah, it's a newer thing because, like, look at we had the Sega, we had Neo Geo, we had TurboGrafx 16s, we had the Amiga system and all that. And the only ones that were going at the time were Sega and Nintendo. That's why the other things, because that's what was known, that's what was safe. And I believe, and I agree with that statement, that PlayStation was safe. That's why people, I feel, yes, give PlayStation a pass, which is, I think, trash, because I think Xbox is more than enough proven itself, especially with the Xbox 360 era.
100%, 100%. And I also know that, you know, that also goes into like the generational thing, because I really do feel like, and again, I'm not just like knocking. It sounds like I'm bullying you guys. I'm not. I promise I'm not. I'm just these are these things I notice, right? You know, kids nowadays, they expect less. They expect less than we do, and it make us look greedy or selfish or, you know, just something of the sort. Especially when we're having these kinds of discussions. But we grew up in a different time wherein these were just the standards, and this is just, we're just asking for the basic bare minimums, and we're not getting them anymore. So I feel like we have every right to complain, especially as a consumer.
Exactly. If we're shelling out the money for it, we want a finished product. So
Right.
Now we're gonna go to another cut for the next section of the show. Are you ready for this? Here we go. We are on this, belief called Releasing This Month. We've got new games releasing this month. And now the biggest one that's out right now that I keep seeing videos for is Mixtape. I guess that just came out the other day. Have you seen anything on that game?
I have not yet. So fill me in.
Mixtape, it's nothing like, it's a coming of age story to my knowledge. It's these three kids finishing up school, I believe, and they're on their last nights together because one's leaving to go better her life and everything. And it's it kind of reminds me of like a Life is Strange type game. If you get a chance, look it up. It's the animation, I will say, I do like how it looks. I wish I don't know who created it, but if you get a chance later, take a look and look up Mixtape. It's about like a 3-hour game. It's like $18 on Steam. I'm almost just tempted to just pick it up. It looks unique, and I think it came out the other day. Yeah, it actually came out the 7th. So if you get a chance, look that one up. But one of the Big Daddy games that we actually talked about earlier was actually supposed to release this month on the 26th, and that was Grand Theft Auto 6, which now is November 18th. But if that game would have came out now, I think that all video games, everything would have been put on hold for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
That no other game would exist because everybody would be like GTA 6. And there's people already talking about how they're going to create servers for it and rent it out, which I think will be extremely interesting. I'm actually going to try and get into that one. Were you big into the Lego games?
Actually, yes, I really did. I played a lot of Lego Star Wars back in the day.
Ooh, that's really good.
Oh yes.
Well, apparently there is a Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight that is coming out on May 29th. Is that something you would be interested in getting? I like the Lego Batman if it's voiced by the guy who did the Lego Batman in the movie.
Hmm.
I liked his voice as Batman. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Uh, we have a game that's coming out called Directive 8020, and that's sometime in May. It doesn't have the exact release date. Uh, that's kind of like one of them story-driven games like Heavy Rain, The Quarry, and all that. Have you ever played those games?
Yes, yes. I played the Quarry.
Okay, so that's pretty much what that is going to be like when it comes out. I might actually pick that up because I like those type of games. I think those games are actually very cool, and with the multiple endings and stuff they got for them. So uh, that one I'm definitely looking into. Next, we got Wax Head came out on May 5th. It's a crazy punk narrative simulator. Next show, I will definitely have actual trailers and gameplay for all this stuff. This was kind of just a last minute add to it, so just wanted to get this out there. Now, a big one that I am really looking forward to that is coming out on the 27th of this month is 007 First Light. Now, do you like James Bond?
Oh yes,
So, have you played any of the Hitman games?
I have.
So, this one, from what to my understanding, is supposed to play like the Hitman games. But this takes place right before. This is like his pretty much his training to becoming 007. Uh, I think that's gonna be cool because I like the Hitman games, and that's one I'm really looking forward to. Especially I'm older. I guess you could call me the midlife crisis gamer. Um, I'm big into like James Bond and everything. So, but definitely, if you have a chance, look into that. All right.
Oh no, absolutely.
Oh,
In fact, you know what? While we're talking about this, I'm gonna look these up in the Steam library. I'm
mm-hmm.
going to definitely favorite them so I remember.
Oh yeah, definitely take a look after. Oh yeah, because dude, I mean, that's the best thing I love about Steam is, and that's why I'm glad Steam is going to Xbox because Steam has so many games on there that you never knew like existed and stuff like that. So you find all these random games and stuff like there's a bunch of games that I saw on Steam already that I'm already going to start looking into. But yeah, that is definitely a game I'm going to be uh, getting back in looking into, and I actually got to get the Hitman series games. So, but
I, that actually would be a really fun. That would be actually a fun series to actually replay and definitely record.
mm-hmm. Yeah, get that up there because definitely always looking for new videos to make sure we throw up on the streams. Like I said, had a different yes, I had a different layout of how everything was going to work on the stream, but some system errors happened, so this is what we got tonight. But I will definitely, there's always room for improvement. So, like I said, I'm going to, when we do more stuff like that, games coming up and stuff like that, definitely going to have that shown and all that. But back to the console gamings. I don't know if you saw this article. PlayStation, being that Xbox is making their big moves. Yes, everybody, big Xbox fans. So yes, I'm going to glaze the Xbox right now because they are making some really good moves. But PlayStation now is wanting to kind of look towards putting backwards compatibility back into their catalog so they can compete with Xbox because you can play any game with Xbox. So, which I feel PlayStation should have did that already. That should have been a feature that should have just always carried over with most console. It shouldn't have to like emulate these games on PlayStation console. So, but they're going to be throwing sounds like they're going to put backwards compatibility on there. What you think?
No, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. And honestly, PlayStation has been notoriously bad with backwards compatibility since like what the PlayStation 3.
Yes. Yeah.
That is thank you because I'm trying to remember if that had to been the PlayStation 3 because that's when they had the first two generations of the PlayStation 3, and those are the ones that were overheating, like the first couple ones,
Yep.
and then like after that when they started making PlayStation 3s, they weren't all backwards compatible. Mind you, I was at the time I was already deep in my Xbox. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and buy PlayStation because I want to buy Kingdom Hearts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kingdom Hearts is one of those games where up until recently, like all like the fun extra content, for that, it wasn't localized. You only had like the base game,
Yeah.
and I was really interested just getting into that game anyway because my friend played on PlayStation 2, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get a 3. I know they're backwards compatible. This one wasn't. This one wasn't. So guess who returned that PlayStation 3? Not a very happy camper.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, and that's what's crazy because that also shows the money hungry side because you had the PlayStation 3, then you had the PS4
Hmm.
and they re-released it for the PS4 and now you got the
Hmm.
PS5 and there look, I'm not trying to dog on PlayStation. I love PlayStation. I grew up with PlayStation. I grew up with Xbox. I'm 44. I've been around the block with video games. I love them. But when you have a company that has a system that can play first generation console games on their fourth gen system, that kind of says, hey, they actually give a damn about, the people that are buying their stuff. So,
Right.
and yes, once in a while, I'm not saying Xbox didn't do it. They did remaster something for their newer console or whatever. And I get that because they just want to have a sharper looking game like GTA 5. They had GTA 5 for like what, 3 console strands now. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I get it. You want it to look good on the system and everything, but the nostalgia hits when you throw in a 360 disc in like the Xbox Series X. It looks great, dude. I love it because that system already beefs it up with the super sampling and everything. And you would think with the PlayStation 5 and the Pro, like I got the Pro, man, and I will say I'm that sucker that bought the Pro because I always want to have the best of everything, and I get it. But it's like the Pro, you should be able to put an old game in there and have it super sample it, upscale it, and everything. I shouldn't have to buy the PS5 version of a game that came out on PS2. Like, what was it? Shadow of the Colossus came out on what,
Hmm.
PS2 or something, and then they did it for PS4. Shouldn't have to buy that. I should have been able to throw that in the system itself. So,
Right. Absolutely. And that actually goes into, I guess, another point. I don't mean to take us off subject, but game preservation has become a huge issue,
mm-hmm.
especially in the world that we live in. And so, and this is especially geared to our younger listeners.
Yeah.
You're living in a world where everything is digital, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's convenient doesn't mean it's always good, right? Just because something
Exactly.
runs faster does not mean that it's worth, $100, $200 if you don't get to keep the rights to it. If you
Exactly.
don't have it physically, if you can't use it whenever you want to, and I don't just mean like with the internet connection, like if you can't download it, keep it somewhere on a hard drive and still just boot it up, if you don't need a server, if a server is necessary at any point of anything that you're using, and you have to have it, it is not yours. You do not own
Mm-hmm.
it, and that is a huge problem going forward.
And prime example, and I'm gonna drop a name, and to this day, it still hurts that it's gone. Remember Anthem?
Oh yes.
I love that game so much. I was saddened that they took it offline, and that's what bothers me. Is there were people that bought the special edition of that, and they don't get that money back. So
No, no, we don't.
stuff like that, we don't. It's nice to have the physical media, but that right there, you said that server's gone, then you really never owned it, and that's what sucks because I, dude, there was so much potential in that game, and it's gone, and we're never gonna get that back unless somebody can create a server for that.
I was actually about to say what really burns me about stuff like that, especially games that sunset so quickly and that rely on servers because they're multiplayer or they're MMOs, you can actually have your own servers,
Yes.
right? And you can get people to pitch in on it. You guys can actually maintain a server if you really care enough about it. The problem is, can you get access to the game and actually put it on a server for everyone else to play? That is something that they're not willing to do.
Yeah, because then they're gonna want a bunch of money for it, and of course they're going to be greedy about it. It's like, well, if you want the rights to this game, you got to pay us this and this amount, whatever you run through the server, and that's what's ridiculous. Like, you remember PS4 where they had PT, the playable trailer for Silent Hills?
Yes,
That's
I
gone.
actually still have that. No, I still have that on my PlayStation 4.
That is amazing because just hypothetically, if it still runs, if you could get a pretty penny for your PS4 if that runs. I've seen that thing go on eBay for 6-7 grand just for that little demo. Isn't that crazy? Oh yes, dude, it's ridiculous. But if you deleted that, you can no longer get that. But if you have it, but there's that preservation. You have it. You can play it whenever now. But yeah, like stuff like that, it's gone. You never get it back, and that's what's ridiculous. And that's why these backwards compatible stuff and everything should just still be there. To have physical media, everything. Yes, like you said, digital. It's more convenient. It's like, yes, I love physical media. I will always buy physical media, and if I'm going to do digital, I will go to Steam because you can still run the shit on your computer without internet and stuff. So that's the best part about Steam. So that people that are looking at the new Xbox, Steam is going to be on there. You should be able, if it's functioning. If it's going to be a PC hybrid, which still kind of worries me because there's still, I feel, is going to be limitations to that because it's still going to be a console first, then a PC. Right. But if they're going to have Steam on there, you should still be able to access your games without internet. And best part about that being is there's going to be no paywall. You won't have to buy Xbox Live anymore. You'll be able to play for free. So PlayStation needs to get up on that.
Or you need to go back to that, because I remember a time where PlayStation fanboys were bragging about how you didn't need to pay for certain features.
Yep. Well, now they're going to have to really look back at that and everything. So, and get that all figured out. But,
again, this is...
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Sorry.
No, it's all good, man. Go ahead and finish your thought, my friend.
Well, I was just going to say, and that's the thing that we're talking about here. We're just talking about basic things. This is not anything new. This is not anything premium. The things that you're paying extra for, we had at base, right? The things that we cherish, they're putting behind paywalls, and they're telling us that, oh, it's harder to do now because the technology. No, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop the line. Stop the cap.
Yeah, they're trying to think, okay, well, with these younger cats playing these things, we can fool them. And it's like, it's not all the younger generation that's playing there, bucko. You got all the old school people that are I still play. Look, man, I work. You can ask my son, maybe next podcast he'll be on here, and he'll tell you dead face that when I'm done with work, I don't go out and do anything. I just play my video games and keep to myself and do podcasting. That's all I do. I love the technology that we have so I can play my games and everything. Don't lie to me. Don't lie. No. I'm not simple, okay? I play my video games. If it's free, that's where I'm going to go to the most. I'll pay my few dollars for my games and whatever. I have no problem with that. But don't make me, I have to pay a monthly subscription to be able to play it online. I don't want to play it online. I want to play it by myself. Why do I have to have PlayStation Plus to play something? Get out of here with that. No, you ain't fooling nobody. Stop lying. So.
No, that's absolutely... Like, we shouldn't even have to even gripe about something like this.
Exactly.
It just feels so weird. Or maybe I'm just getting old.
Believe me, it gets worse when you get to my age. You just nitpick everything. So, but we are coming to the close of the show. So I want to know what you working on this week. What games are you going to be playing? Are you going to be focused on Crimson Desert? What you got going on for your gaming situation?
Well, then, I'm super glad you asked. So, yes, I'm definitely going to be playing Crimson Desert. I'm going to be streaming that exclusively for the time being.
Nice.
However, I am actually looking at stacking a couple other games here. I also got Toxic Commando, and I would love to definitely record that, get some of that in there. I do find myself going back and playing some, and I feel like I'm going to puke even just saying this, retro games. I can't even believe I'm calling this game retro. I find myself always going back to Halo every now and again,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
definitely going to be recording myself doing that.
Hmm.
So, absolutely, absolutely, that's what we're doing this week.
Oh, that's fantastic, dude. I am definitely going to be working on some more Pragmata. I love that game, dude. Yeah, I know you're not a parent, so but when you play the game, you'll understand where it's like, oh, you'll become a parent once you play that game. You'll be like, oh my god, it's
I've
amazing.
heard, I've
Oh,
heard. I saw the memes. I don't want to know any more than that.
oh, dude, it's an amazing game. And that right there just shows. Like I think it sold over 2 million copies already, and that's what video game companies need to see is that stuff too. Because look at Capcom. They're firing on all cylinders so far. They have Resident Evil 9, already 6 million. I think they said 5 or 6 million already sold for Requiem. Over 2 million sold for Pragmata. That's a game that they just. I'm not saying they just put together, but dude, that just shows that game developers can make something meaningful and it will do well. And that is an amazing game. And look at Crimson Desert, another game that's selling extremely well. It's an amazing game. Like I said, I got to get back into that. I'm Toxic Commando. I'm sorry. That is definitely like Left 4 Dead crazy vibes and everything, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
It's dude, those are my three games that I'm working on right now. Um, and dude, it's just there's so much more. I've got like there's a couple other games I've got downloaded for my Steam account. There's one game I can't remember what it's called right now, but you inject your own blood as your ammunition, and that's where you got to balance your health out and everything like that. And yeah, it's crazy. But there's a lot of games that those are those games that are people taking chances on making. And that's what needs to be focused on right there is those games. Like I said, Pragmata, love the game. I'm pretty much after I think when we're done streaming, I'm gonna chill for a little bit, smack my son around because he's smacking me on the back because he just walked in. But hold on, say hi.
What up, chat?
He was he he was gonna jump on the stream tonight, but he's still got butterflies. I'm gonna work with him a little bit more to get him over his nerves. But yep. So that's video game dad right here. So when I play Pragmata, I feel like I'm looking at my kid. But okay, love you too, Dork.
I'm going bike riding.
Okay, go bike riding. Get off me. I'm still talking to people.
Follow me on TikTok.
Yeah. Anyways, so. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on. Let's get some outros going on. Galaxy, where can people find you and where can people rewatch the stream?
You can 100% find me on Twitch. That is Galaxy Eater, or I'm sorry, Twitch/Galaxy Eater. And while I do have a YouTube, I actually need to look into. I'm actually having issues with my YouTube.
Oh,
But I will 100% have that sent over to your ex, and I will repost it on mine as well.
very good, very good. And always you can find me, which you're watching if you're watching Twitch, which some people we did have some good viewers on here for a little bit. The Glitcher Boys, it's mine and my son's channel, and that is also the same on YouTube as the Glitcher Boys. Like I said, this will be put up an hour after we go live. Like I said, I'm trying to do a little something different. Hit up Twitch, kind of build that up. I did have a good following back then on YouTube, but I'm gonna try something different, and I feel this is gonna be the route we go live here on Twitch and then put it up later. If you need me to, I can send I could email you this so you can put it up on your stuff, or you could rip it from me, either way. So there's that. And yes, we are sponsored by Dubby. If you are interested in buying any of that, please use our promo codes to get 10% off, either the Glitcher Boys or Jerome Boom. That will get you 10% off. I hope you guys had a good time with us today. We don't know what days we're going to be doing this. I don't know if we're doing this on Saturday. Did Saturday work for you, my friend?
Actually, it did.
Okay.
That actually worked out just fine.
Okay, well, then it looks like we'll be visiting you guys again next week on Saturday, probably roughly about the same time. So with some minor glitches, hence the glitcher, some minor issues with the setup today, but we ended up pulling it through. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Alrighty. You got anything else you want to add before I hit the outro?
Nope. That was it. Thank you for listening, guys.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys, and have fun playing some games. We are taking off. You guys have a beautiful evening.